Also, if a person walks to the front of the room and they say, "Good morning, everybody." "Oh, you can do better than that." "Good morning, everybody." You're about to see some trash. Like that's like this is pro tip. Like that is an indicator that you're about to sit through some garbage.
That's really fun.
Welcome to this week's episode of Teaching Keating. Hi, Momo.
Hi, babe.
We are talking.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Yep.
Talking professional development today.
Yeah, it's a time. I was thinking about it because your road schedule starts to ramp up this time of year. Not so much July. You do like a lot of, there's conventions and like conferences and stuff. But I think really once we start hitting August,
This is really the time.
It is a marathon race for you.
Yeah, between conferences and back to school PDs, like.
So many.
I have a question for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, our audience. Like,
yes.
Are you in a garbage PD?
Oh, good question.
And Molly and I are going to talk today about 3 signs that you are in a garbage PD. Now, the irony of this moment is not lost on me.
That's
as a professional development provider, I know what everyone is thinking when I walk in. Like, oh God,
here we go.
Here's the PD guy. Like, I get it. Like the job that I have to sort of like win.
You do have a unique role.
Win not credibility, but more so like, hey, like, let's make sure this time is valuable.
Sure.
And not just like you sitting there while I rip through whatever my content is.
Yes.
Like, I want to make sure you actually walk away with something.
It's interesting to me because, my question to you is like, how many crappy PDs have you sat through in your life, do you think?
As a participant?
Yeah.
Lots.
Like just give me like rough estimation.
Oh my gosh. It's going to be at least 15.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
That is amazing to me.
For sure.
I thought for sure, I mean, I've been at least like a good 5 that were just brutal, that I'm like, I cannot believe I'm wasting time away from my family. Or that people paid for this. I'm frustrated on their behalf.
I'm a terrible judge.
Sure.
I'm a terrible judge because I'm a
true
super harsh critic.
Yeah, you are.
I know that the work that I do when I'm out on the road is good. And I'll say this, I know that the work that I do is really good.
Sure.
A lot of times the feedback that I get is really great.
Yes.
And I don't know how much of that is I'm really great and then how much of that is like, well, the bar's just so incredibly low for professional development that anything that has remote value is going to feel really great.
Or Weston just made us feel awesome.
Correct.
So, because there's a lot of those. Like conversely, I've sat through some great PDs that I was like, oh, I really like that person. Or I think they just, gave us some, like, I thought their presentation was awesome or their keynote was great, but I don't know how applicable it was to my classroom life.
Yeah, it's like,
or like immediate implementation things that I could do
like,
right away.
It's like, oh, we were with this person for 2 or 3 hours and it felt awesome.
But I felt great.
And then the follow-up question is like, well, what did you learn? Well, nothing. I mean, it felt awesome.
Sure. It was one of the things that I think I said to when I was presenting last summer in Hawaii. It was like the first thing out of my mouth that I was saying to my breakouts was like, hey, as a participant in these things, it is not lost on me that I really value your time, but what I value even more is like, I don't want to waste your time.
Right.
I don't want to give you anything that is not valuable.
Right.
So let me help support you in doing the work that you're already doing. I don't want to be a hindrance. I want to be a support to you and then get out of the way.
Right.
So if I accomplish those things, I hope that was true. And if you feel good after this and you feel happy and you want to get back to the classroom, that's just even a bonus.
Yeah.
But I just want to make things as functional and helpful for you and just make your life easier. Like that was my goal. So hopefully I accomplished those things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I also feel like the Hawaii feedback was good, but I can't ever tell really. I have less of a whole experience.
Your survey feedback was awesome after that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I have less numbers to
and the
go
nice thing is, like,
I don't have a good
people are relatively honest in their survey feedback.
I hope so.
Because it's anonymous.
They should be.
Yeah.
I was always honest with my survey feedback. I wasn't a jerk, but I was always like, exactly what I just said. Exactly what I just said. Like, this person was really helpful. I really liked them. I don't know how applicable whatever they were saying was to my content area or what I'm doing or that I could implement it tomorrow.
If I thought something was worthless, I would be the first one to write that in the survey and say like, hey, this time would have been better spent in my classroom prepping and lesson designing.
That's a good point. I don't think I would have been like giant waste of time, on my survey feedback, but I would have said that
I would.
I mean, the way you said it was better. Time, it would have been better spent doing things that were actually in service of me and my students.
This is a waste of time, and here's what I need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really for kind of teachers and anyone who might do professional development
I was
out there.
say
like
people in business, they do lots of conferences all
signs,
the times.
3 signs from people who have done and do this work that you are in a garbage professional development.
Yeah.
You want to go back and forth one at a time? Like these are some of my like, hey, here's you want to start? You want me to start?
You go ahead and start.
First sign.
You're very clear.
First sign that I have abundant clarity about this, right? Abundant clarity. Like if you are at any sort of professional development, the first sign that you are in a garbage PD, the icebreaker.
Funny.
If somebody has like a formal icebreaker, and calls it hey, we're going to do a little icebreaker, and they have a fun, and they're playing fast and loose with the word fun. They have a fun little activity that they're going to do. Like, we're going to do 3 truths and a lie or some other bullshit activity that is indicator number 1. You are about like, I'll put like a 1B on that too.
Sure.
Also, if a person walks to the front of the room and they say, "Good morning, everybody." Oh, you can do better than that. Good morning, everybody. You're about to see some trash. Like that's like this is pro tip. Like that is an indicator that you're about to sit through some garbage.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I think mine are a little bit more macro than like that. Those are pretty precise.
Oh, I'm going to give you super fine.
I appreciate it. No, mine are more macro. Mine are more just like if the presenter, whether it's in a breakout or a keynote, immediately goes totally positive or totally negative one way or the other.
This is a good one.
I'm like, yeah, that's not helpful on either end.
Yeah.
Like it's just not helpful on either end because it immediately tells you like, oh, you haven't done my job. If you have done my job, you haven't done it a really long time and you don't actually have a grasp for the nuances of what I'm going through. So you're either blowing smoke and so like if the presenter's like, everything's okay, you guys are great, you're doing awesome, everything's lovely.
If a presenter, this is a really good one.
Life is so great.
Like if a presenter,
you're doing great, teachers.
If a presenter walks to the front of the room and says, "I just want to start by saying, everyone in this room is a hero."
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like last year when I was presenting, I was like, "Hey, it's not lost to me. I appreciate what you do. Thank you for your commitment to the children.
Yeah, that's
to
different.
Other people's children,
That's
to my
different.
children. I understand and I appreciate it." Is what I said. I would start or end.
I watched a presenter one time start the opposite way, walk to the front, and the first line was like, "Education is broken."
Right. You get pissed about that. I feel like you reference that a lot.
Let's it land.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've said something so profound, and now I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, it's that.
In the next hour.
Yeah, it's that thing.
Get bent.
It's like everything sucks.
Yeah.
The kids are crazy. The world is insane. Your job is not worth it. There's too much being, like all of those things. Like if it's just like doom and gloom the whole time, but don't worry, I have the antidote. That I also don't have a taste for. I'm just like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, all of you guys know out there, it's not one or the other. It's a both and. Depends on the day, depends on the year, depends on your content area or what you're teaching. Not always. Sometimes the content area is great and you're in the same content and the next year it sucks. There's just so many nuances that go into education and the way in which there's not a singular point of focus. So I just like people that are, I don't like people, but I resonate with people who are more measured in their delivery, in their approach, and they aren't blowing smoke like everything's okay. Well, spoiler alert, it's not. But also, like, the sky is falling all the time. Like, those people aren't helpful either. Like, it has to be, you talk about this a lot, like, the
cold shower, warm bath.
And you have to give a little bit of both. But honestly, it's a great analogy because, like, that's just what's true.
Good professional development should be equal parts cold shower and warm bath.
So anyway, that's my number one. Like if anyone is too extreme on either end, I'm like,
that's a good one.
Not for me.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
This one's more personal for me. It's just a thing that I hate.
Is this episode called Weston's Pet Peeves?
Maybe. Maybe.
Weston's buttons in professional
Weston's
development.
PD pet peeves.
How are you annoyed?
Yeah.
How annoyed can you be?
I feel like I'm uniquely
you're
skilled at
do.
answering this question.
You have some unique
So,
expertise there. Go ahead.
The minute a presenter busts out the piece of flip chart paper and sticks it on the wall in the corner and says, "Hey, if you have questions, put them in the parking lot."
I've never seen that.
I have seen it a number of times.
Okay.
Matt, have you ever seen anyone do this,
Yeah.
like in a professional, like
a parking lot?
Yeah,
but the parking lot is like just like sticky notes on the sila, and you just go.
The
write
parking
them down.
lot is like, hey, park your questions over here.
Sure.
Like if something comes up, like write them down on this flip chart paper, and then I'll get to them later.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That is a like bright flashing light
Sure.
for me. It's a thing I've seen over and over and over.
Yeah.
And what that tells me is like, hey, don't ask your questions and disrupt me in the moment.
Right.
Also, I want to see your questions first and have a lot of time to
Sure.
think about the answer
Yes.
before I get to them, if I get to them at all.
Yeah, it's a little dismissive.
I've
never seen that, but thankfully,
it
would just rub me the wrong way. Probably too.
Number one, it's dismissive.
Yeah.
Number two, it's a sign of a lack of expertise.
Sure.
If you can't field a question
Yeah.
about your content and about my job
Yeah.
in the moment
Sure.
and give me a thoughtful answer, or if you don't have the answer to the question,
Sure.
be willing and vulnerable enough to. There's so many times where I'll get questions about special education.
Yeah.
That is not my area of
No,
expertise.
you don't answer it.
And my answer is forever like, hey, when I have expertise to offer, I will give it.
Sure.
And when I don't have it, I promise you I'll never make it up.
Yeah.
You've asked me a question that I am not qualified to give you a good
Sure.
answer to, and my answer is I don't know.
Sure.
And that has
That's
and
fair.
that
and what it should be.
that's
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of really bad professional development people will like, well, I'm just going to
Maybe
try
wanna
to
field it.
I'm going to give you this word salad of an answer
Sure.
that isn't going to answer your question in
Right.
any way, shape, or form, but it will make you think that I have some sort of expertise.
Yeah.
Like,
Does it?
No, it has
I was
the
gonna say,
opposite
I've
effect.
never seen that.
It
I've
ha-
never seen
I-
somebody give me a lot of word salad and be like, "Ooh,
No.
you're an expert."
No,
I never
but,
get that.
But people will
sense
think that.
after. Will
like,
they?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
interesting.
The presenters will
Yeah.
go that route.
It's interesting to me that somebody, it just strikes me as like, just don't say you're going to take questions. Like don't feign that you actually care about my questions and you're going to answer them.
Lots of people
and then
don't.
not. Just don't take questions. I've been in a lot of PDs where they don't take questions, or they'll say like, I don't know, something nicer than like, we're not doing a Q&A or we don't have time for it, whatever.
Yeah.
Which irks me to some extent, because I was like, well then what? Like if you don't want to answer my questions, you just want to give me your monologue. Like I don't.
Then did
I
you
don't
need
know
us
how
here
that's
for
helpful.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so do we pay like, is this worth the money
Right.
and time that we're sitting here making sure we listen to every word that you say? I've only ever actually had that happen one time when it was like a true monologue and it was such a giant audience, but it was, we had Sir Ken Robinson, and he was a wonderful, read his books, do all the things. He's excellent, but he's since passed, but he was lovely. And he didn't do a Q&A only because he was having a hard time walking at that point. And then also it was such a, it was huge. It was a huge, there were probably
There are certain
maybe like 10,000 people in a room or something. It was huge. And he did like a book signing after, and that was even a lot.
There's a threshold
so
that
that
you
was
there's a threshold that you get
realistic.
to. When I was in Alabama,
Sure.
there was like 2,000 people in
Yeah.
the room. You can't do a Q&A with
Yeah,
2,000 people
that
in the
makes
room.
sense.
You can't.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting there with a singular staff
Sure.
in a single building,
Yeah.
and your professional development person like isn't comfortable taking questions off the cuff, like giant red flag.
Right. Well, and I don't mind like the larger conferences where it's a lot of sit and get if it's valuable. I'm not one of those people that like I don't need to ask questions of every single presenter all the time. But I also and maybe we'll go. This will bump me to my second one, like which is like I don't love a presenter who because we're in education treats us like we're students. I don't love that. That's a pet peeve of mine. I don't know if it's an indicator of how bad the PD is or not.
I think it could be.
Well, so I was going to say the caveat was like I haven't been in one where the presenter did that and then it ended up being overwhelmingly positive or like really good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they could present like that and that would still work for some people, maybe in elementary. I don't know. I just don't. It seems like a little too patronizing. And I get it. You're trying to have fun and you're trying to, you're with teachers. They should be fun and should participate. theoretically, but also it's a bunch of adults in the room.
Right.
So like things like that. It's similar to your like your trick of like, oh, we can do better than that. It's like, well, we're not in your classroom.
Yeah.
And we're a group of adults. We
Yeah.
said good morning, move on. You know, like
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff. Like in terms of like, you know, crowd work or trying to do all of that stuff to like get you more hyped. But it just rubs me the wrong way. And then it's hard because you have a really small window to have a good opening, and if you don't have a good opening, people are already like,
gone.
Great, gone. Yeah. It's small.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if presenters understand that. Like on the, you know, like when you're facilitating or presenting a larger room, like your window is so small to grasp me, and it's not because I'm not interested or I'm not rooting for you. It's like literally,
I've got
my
shit to
time
do.
is valuable.
Yeah.
Yes. So like, be here and capture me, and then like let's move. It's the same as that actually is similar to a classroom. So like that's one thing that you should take, but you remember you're in a room of adults.
Yes, that
They're
part is
not
similar to a
students.
classroom, but
Sure.
you're right. Like we're also not children.
Yeah, that part just
And so-
it just rubs me the wrong way, and I've seen a fair amount of presenters do that, and I was like, ugh.
Who don't change tonally.
Yeah, or just like I don't know. It's too rah-rah, or it's too simplistic. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just it's not, again, not effective for me, not applicable to my immediate circumstances or my classroom at the time. So moving on.
That's a good
Go
one.
ahead.
I'm torn.
Okay.
My third one, I really have two.
Okay.
They're both equally annoying.
Okay.
One of them.
You're just doing 3 though, right?
I'm just doing 3.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we'll do a 3A, 3B. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll do my 3A. Like
Okay.
this is like slide readers. If
Yeah,
if you're
that's
with
a real
if
pet
you're with
peeve.
somebody and they're reading directly from the slide,
Sure.
I'm out.
Sure.
I'm out.
Sure.
Like if you are going to sit there and read your slides from us, like
Yeah.
that's an easy one. That's an indicator
Yeah.
you're in a garbage PD. My other one is more
I
personal.
might disagree with you on that, but keep going.
On
Finish.
slide reading?
I'll give it to you, but hold on. Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
my 3B is, and this one's personal for me, and this might be controversial because I've got a few buddies who do what I do, and I think they're great at what they do, but we see this very differently. People who show multiple like YouTube video clips during a keynote.
Sure.
So like, hey, you've been hired to give an hour-long keynote, and you've outsourced 18 minutes of that to 5 or 6 like short YouTube clips.
Yeah.
I think that is I think that's a cheat code.
Sure.
I think like, hey man, we've not invited you here to show us YouTube clips that probably a lot of us have seen before.
Right.
We've
Paying you
invited
a lot of money.
We've invited you here to share
us-
something that we can't get without having it exclusively from you.
Sure.
It's a huge pet peeve of mine.
I think that's pretty unique to you, though, because it's
Super unique to me.
I mean, again, we have different perspectives because I'm not out there seeing what you're seeing in terms of like convention world and conferences and all of those things. So I only have my own unique perspective from like when I'm in the room or when I'm there at the conference to breakout or whatever. I do think I guess it could go either way. I'm okay with like 1 or even 2 if it's an hour-long keynote. Just like break it
Sure,
up.
there's
I'm not
ways
okay
to
with
use
5.
it. There's
And if
ways
it's
to use it
applicable,
effectively.
Sure.
But if you're outsourcing huge chunks of the time
Agreed.
to I'm not.
I get it as a cheat code, and I get it as the outsource, and like that's.
What's your pushback on slide reading?
Oh, okay. So I was going to tell you. So my only because I've seen my very favorite presenter in the whole of the world, Sister Miriam James. Granted, her audience is a little different, but like if there are older people in the audience that can't see all the time, or depending on where she is, I've seen her. You know, like if we have materials and it's in our materials. You know, she'll just give us like the brief. She won't read like the entire thing, but she'll give us like sort of like the brief outline of like what it says. If you can't see it the whole time.
I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
I'm talking about verbatim slide reading.
I was going to say, I was like, she definitely reads slides, but she's done like bullet points. And you know, there's no other person on the planet that I think is more masterful at presenting or facilitating in terms of large group than she is. I think she is so authentic and so profound and so masterful. And she is my like, life goals in terms of
I'm
like
talking.
breakouts
There's
and
a
keynotes?
paragraph on the
understand.
screen,
Okay.
and I'm going to read you the paragraph.
What if
That's
it's
what
a
I'm talking
quote?
about. What?
What if it's a quote? What if it's like a really unique
I don't
quote?
need you to read it to me. I can read.
Yeah, you can. Sometimes, again, it depends on the room. If your
show me the
slide
quote
is,
and tell me why it's valuable.
Sure, that's what I said. Or give us like Cliff's notes of it, or tell us why it's relatable. That part matters to me. I do just think like logistically, if you are in a giant room and there are people in the back that can't see, or they don't have, not everybody has materials that go with their keynotes or their breakouts.
This is where like, hey, if you can't see and you've chosen a seat in the back, sucks for you.
Okay.
Sit up front.
Agree
I'm
to
not
disagree.
reading it to you.
Okay.
Number one, it's obnoxious for everyone else who can't see.
It is.
Number two, I'm not going to validate your choice to sit in the back if you can't read what's in the front.
I understand. Agree to disagree. I'm just saying there are times where I think it's appropriate. I'm not saying I love it. I'm saying if it's a quick quote and you do it once or twice in an hour-long keynote because people can't see or hear,
I think it's an indicator you're going to see something mediocre at best.
Well, I have seen people do it who are not mediocre.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Just saying. Okay.
I also think my bar is higher.
Maybe it is, but I don't know when last time
we've seen some stuff. One of my least favorite things is when we'll go to church and you'll hear a homily and you're like, oh, that was great. And I was like, no, it wasn't.
I don't do that.
It was
the same that you do it. It depends on the person. And there are very few times where I think something is great and you think something is garbage. And if I give you the reasons where I picked it out and I'm like, okay, here are the points that I thought were really great, you don't usually disagree with those. You disagree with the delivery.
Always.
It's always the delivery.
You can have a great message. If your delivery is poor, then
I understand that, but I'm just saying, I'm an educator and I'm an adult and I'm there for a reason. Mm-hmm. So I am smart enough and adept enough to be able to separate the two. I'm just saying.
I'm not smart enough.
No, that's not my implication. That's not what I'm implying to you. What I'm saying is, you have to be able to be an adult and separate. And so I'm saying I can do that.
I think
I can separate the message from the person.
If your job
sure.
is to speak to people,
sure,
then I don't think you should make me separate the two. You should have a great message and a strong delivery.
Okay.
If that is your job.
Honey, I don't disagree, but that is not necessarily how it's always looked at and or the perception in the example that you're giving. Those guys have a lot of different things on their plate, and unfortunately, the priority isn't always the thing that they're doing the most, unfortunately. If
you have the stones to say, hey, I'm going to stand up in front of a group of people and
tell
tell them what I think, and they're going to listen to you for any length of time, your message better be good and your delivery better be good.
I don't disagree.
You owe that to the people who are sitting out there.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
We are 100% aligned in that. I'm saying that in the cases that doesn't always happen, we don't walk out the back and boo because this sucks. You have to be grown and adult in that moment and separate. You have to.
I won't.
I
won't be grown
I'm
and
aware.
adult. All right, what's your third one? Because we got to get to he said, she said.
I know. Was that your third one?
That was my third.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like anything that just is, and this is again very macro, so generalized that it's not. There's nothing applicable that can be added to your classroom.
Yeah.
So I'm very pragmatic and practical when it comes to hey, we're here for a very limited amount of time. I need things that can be useful and that I can immediately implement. If you are not giving me those things, even if you're really great and you have a lot of nice things to say and you have some great ideas or whatever, if I can't take them directly back to my classroom, that is a waste of my time.
Yeah.
And so anybody who, for me, again, if you're not getting things that are immediately actionable and you can implement in your classroom, I would walk out.
Yeah.
And it's not personal to the person. It's just I will sit in the back and I won't see, because if it's that bad, it's okay, it's just not.
Have you ever walked out of a PD?
Never. I'm sure you have. Yeah, never.
At the break?
Yeah.
I've not returned.
That's fair. As long as it's respectful and there's times that can be respectful and you don't have to. When there's a break, go ahead and don't return.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some things that are just great, my content area is PE and none of this is helpful. Get me out of here. But my district said I had to come. So, okay, great. That's fine. That's not personal. I think it's only if you're sitting in the front and then you hate it and you immediately make a dramatic thing. Yeah, it's just rude. It's what are you here for anyway? Great. If it wasn't useful, you do just That's fine. I don't take that personally. There are things that it may not all be useful to you. Throw it away. That's fine. But you just don't get to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
To me or to the other people.
It's still a professional environment.
Yes, it's a professional environment. So be professional.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let's play a little he said, she said, shall we?
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
At the end of the day, you have to be the adult.
I struggle with it daily. All right. As always, Molly and I have not seen these questions.
Yeah.
Matt, here we go, baby.
Here we go.
What PD activity would your spouse ban?
Oh, you. Okay.
What PD activity would your spouse ban? You have mine already?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a cheat, though.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Go ahead.
Did you say the icebreaker? Yeah. I already said it.
Yeah.
Molly would ban the 1 hour sit and get.
Yeah.
If there is no space for Molly to like turn and talk to somebody next to her, to ask a question, like Molly will that's your kryptonite.
It is my kryptonite.
Yeah.
Because that's how I learn. Here's the thing. I don't mind a 1 hour sit and get if there are places embedded in there for me to be able to like speak to another person.
But that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
If those are not, if it's just a 1 hour sit and receive,
no.
I think you'd ban that.
I would. I just can't take it in. I don't think most people can.
No, you are a verbal processor.
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great. Next one. Easy.
Related to that, what PD buzzword instantly triggers your spouse's eye roll?
Oh, what PD
That's
buzzword
a great question.
instantly triggers your spouse's eye roll? I think I've got this one for you.
Okay.
You have it for me? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oops, sorry. Engagement.
Oh, yes. Oh, so good. I said innovation for Molly.
Oh, yeah.
Anything. So we'll come to yours.
Go ahead.
I'll talk to mine.
Okay.
So like Molly, innovation. Molly.
Tell me why I hate this word.
Because
and then I'll support it.
Innovation is often tied to technology. And Molly and I view technology in different ways. Like Molly, I think, Molly was born at the wrong time. Molly should not have been born in the 1970s. Molly should have been born in the 1870s.
Okay. Maybe true. Even 1770s sometimes. I think.
Go back to 16 if you want.
I mean, I really like penicillin. So
But
I'll
anything,
just say that.
anything where Molly is going to be forced to sit and listen to a person tell her about how innovation is the answer, going to get a big eye roll from her. She's
you might even get like a straight up boo.
yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I've been known to boo here and
Yeah.
there. But just I don't appreciate it. It's oversimplified. It's just like a buzzword that people are like, yeah, anything that I have going on is innovative and anything that you have going on is archaic.
Yes.
And I think being so just binary and overly simplistic about things that innovation doesn't immediately equal great technology. There's a lot of shitty technology out there that like we're fighting right now. Like it was innovative and now it's a disaster.
That's the other thing for you too.
That pisses me off.
If a person claims that what they're doing is innovative and what you're doing is not, what they're saying without saying it is what I'm doing is good and what you're doing is bad.
That's it. It's the moral judgment and the moral high ground around how people like to sort of low key, virtue signal to you in education about like what you actually should be focusing on and what you actually should be doing, because all kids are exactly the same and we should treat them all exactly the same and we know what's best for them. I just think it's insulting and I don't appreciate the attitude or the posture.
Why does engagement get an eye roll from me? You're 100% right. 100% right.
For the same reason that I hate innovation, because it's used to encapsulate all this BS that it's actually not. People want to say engagement is like entertainment, which you always say. I mean, you literally have a line in one of your keynotes, I can't remember, and I'll paraphrase because I'm not going to get it right, but you always like...
I'll tell it to you if you want.
No, I want to paraphrase it.
Okay.
Engagement is not entertainment or edutainment or whatever you call it. You're like, engagement is its own thing, so don't make it into something that it's not, which people do all the time. It's like a buzzword. It's like an umbrella for all this crap that they want to like put under the umbrella of like, yeah, this is awesome in classroom. Blah.
It drives me insane because people will use the word engagement and fun as though they're synonyms.
Yeah,
they're just not. Engagement isn't fun, and so that's why it gets an eye roll, because a person will be up there talking about engagement, and what they're trying to tell teachers is like, be more fun. And I'm like, no, that's not what engagement is. Engagement isn't fun. It's curiosity, participation, and the desire to persevere.
There you go.
That's it.
I don't like it because I feel like it's insulting to tell teachers like, hey, you're just not entertaining them enough, and that's why they're bored in your classroom.
Yeah.
Like, it's your content. You're not doing, you're like, they're just bored with the content. And I just want to be like, well, I don't give a shit. Like, my primary content wasn't physics, but like, I probably should have still needed to learn it at some point, right? Like, it wasn't always fascinating to me, but like, I had to figure it out. Sometimes I don't like people who want to let kids off the hook either.
Yeah.
Who want to hold them to zero standard, who want to just make everything okay for them. And just because they're young or they're developing brains, want to not assume competency and assume that they just are inept and incapable of doing normal human behaviors because of the age that they're at. I think that's stupid. It's not true.
Okay.
And I don't like anybody that does it.
Dude, you're 100% right.
Sorry.
Good. We were 2 for 2 on that one. All right, Matt.
We have zero opinions about this, Matt,
Yeah,
obviously.
not at all.
You have to tell me if this one makes sense.
Okay.
What's your spouse's go-to PD outfit?
Oh, that's easy for me.
What do you wear as a participant?
I mean, you're not usually a participant, so I'm just going to say what you wear.
Yeah. I've got yours.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
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 3, 2, 1.
Go.
Show.
Oh, I do like a good onesie or a dress.
All blues,
all blues
or greens and yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, we'll start with that one. You're 100%. Just so you
Yes.
know, if anyone sees me out on the road presenting, you're going to see me in blues and browns or greens and browns every time.
A lot
Every
of
time.
natural colors.
Why do I do
still
that?
bright because you don't like to think about your outfit too much, and especially when you're on the road a long time, you have to have outfits that go, like they all need to be interchangeable, and you need to be able to go with everything. But also, depending on where you are in the country, like you don't usually suit up, only because you don't. So I'm not going to get into the ins and outs, but I will a little bit. You don't want to suit up because as a teacher, you never suited up, and the furthest you went was a tie because you're required to in Bermuda. But so this is getting like in the weeds, but you don't like to make any divide between you and the audience. That's just like a very specific thing. So you like comfort, you like things that look nice.
I don't like lies.
And you don't, yes.
Because
okay.
There's a reason why I'm not going to wear a suit to present.
You don't wear suits.
You know why? I didn't wear a suit to work.
Yeah, you never wear a suit to work.
Never.
Yeah.
Even as an administrator,
I'd wear a tie, like when you had parents.
I'd wear like a tie and a sweater.
Sure.
Like
or like nice slacks, but you never wore a suit.
I never looked frumpy.
In fairness, I know a lot. I mean, I do know educators like who work at the district office. One I'm thinking of, who you just saw yesterday, who does suit up all the time. But that's his brand.
Correct.
He's very comfy in that brand. He feels the need to do that, and honestly, at his level at the district office, that's appropriate. With teenagers and kids around, when you're with students 24/7, I don't know. Anyway, you never wear a suit in the classroom. I don't know why you would do it in front of other people.
Never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like when you're on the East Coast, sometimes you look very nice in a suit.
I think you wish I would wear suits more often.
Sorry, like at some conferences where everyone is a little bit more like I'm thinking like when we were in DC. You did a suit, and it was an evening keynote or something. So you did. There were some like random times.
Opening keynote,
sure.
6,000 or 7,000 people
for an evening, and then you go after dinner afterwards. Like that's.
Here's
that's
the thing,
different,
though.
though.
Even when the groups are large like that now, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I did it in the beginning.
Sure.
Because I felt like, well, I was young, and this suit gives me more credit. It
Yeah.
feels like a credibility cheat code.
Sure.
I'm not going to earn.
Same thing with the YouTube clips.
Yes, I'm not going to earn credibility with my attire.
Yeah.
I'm going to earn credibility with my content.
Sure.
And if anyone leaves there talking about what I'm wearing, then I've failed miserably.
Sure. I mean, in fairness, like I've never been to a conference ever. Again, Sir Ken Robinson wore a suit. He's British.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Like that was his brand. It was never. I always wear like a jumpsuit or a dress.
Onesie or jumpsuit for Molly. Like
one outfit.
If Molly's got to sit through professional development, she's going to want to be comfortable.
Yeah.
She's going to wear a onesie or a jumpsuit. And
onesie, it's like a baby, but just like a jumpsuit or a dress.
Just so you know, every time you wear like a onesie or a jumpsuit,
You keep calling it a onesie or jumpsuit. It's like the same thing. Onesies are for babies, but it's okay. I know where you're going with it.
They don't have
the
footies.
Same piece of clothing.
It's a continuous piece of clothing.
Yeah, I get it.
And I always think every time you wear a onesie, I'm like, man, the bathroom situation has to be so difficult.
Depends on where the zipper is. Not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. I don't know if at the side or the front. But if it's in the back, it gets
I wouldn't wear
hairy.
a onesie because I wouldn't want to do like. There's got to be a point of like full nakedness in the bathroom where you're just like.
I mean, dresses are way easier. You just got to make sure everything is in the right place.
You got to bunch it up, I imagine.
Yeah. It's all good.
All right.
Okay, great. Matt, let's keep going.
All right, 2 more here.
Okay.
I think this is in the context of garbage PD specifically. What fictional character would your spouse pick to lead PD instead of the actual presenter?
Oh, funny.
Oh, what fictional character would your spouse pick to lead PD?
Rather than the presenter?
Oh, this one's so easy for me.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Go. Anybody British?
Anybody British. Also,
That's true.
Also, how hilarious that the one example you've kept giving over and over is Sir Ken Robinson.
He was amazing.
British.
Yeah, he was amazing. I had Michael Scott from The Office.
That's a great answer.
I'm surprised you didn't want to join it for yourself.
I would love that. Because it would be so awkward. It'd be so funny.
I mean, the episodes where they do PD at The Office is really
That's the best possible answer you could have given.
I'm sorry. Okay, good. I'm glad we're both winning. The Anybody British is good. I mean, that's a good,
The minute...
I mean, they're just easier to listen to. Let's be real.
If somebody walks out onto a stage and their first words are in a British accent, Molly's locked in.
The whole time.
Locked in.
Even if they're saying total nonsense and it's garbage.
It could be complete trash, but because it comes with a British accent, Molly would be like,
I mean, that's
so
true.
good.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
They get a lot of praise from you with that accent, that's for sure.
Okay.
All right, good one.
Last one.
All right. What is your spouse's favorite instructional strategy?
Oh. Oh, this is going to be a hard one because this is when we really get in the weeds about like how geeky I know Weston is, because I'm trying to think through like what does he like the best versus like what does he use the most because of effect size, and he's like very specific about all those. I'll just do. Okay. This is an oldie but a goodie.
3, 2, 1.
Go. Oh, turn and talk? I did think, pair, share.
Same difference. Same. Here's the.
So pretty much, this is teacher speak, buddy, for the for everybody.
Let me
these
go.
are the same.
Let me go. Bigger nerd moment. Nerd moment.
Go ahead.
Both of these are actually activities.
Okay.
They are metacognitive strategies.
Great. Thank
they have
you.
an effect size of around 8/10. They allow for the processing of information. Molly's is absolutely the turn and talk. She, like.
I do like a good turn
Molly's
and talk.
whole life is a turn and talk. Every time she's on a plane, turn and talk. Oh, we're at a restaurant, turn and talk. Like this.
In the grocery store line,
Yes.
turn and talk.
Yes.
At church, turn and talk.
Turn and talk.
Yeah.
Molly's,
when I wake up in the morning,
yes.
not turn and talk. That's you to me.
Yes.
That's the only time.
It's the only time. Yeah.
That's the only time.
The first hour of wake up is the only time.
I would even say like the first 20 minutes because you can't get past.
Cap.
No.
Cap.
Okay, first hour for me, but you can only wait like the first 20 minutes, and then
I can't wait 20 minutes at all.
I know.
I can't wait 20 seconds.
So I'm giving you 20 minutes.
I want to
Turn
wake
and
up
talk.
and be like, Molly,
Turn and talk.
can you believe we get another one? What a great day. Let's talk about it. I only want to talk in the first hour.
I know.
And it's the one time you never want to talk.
Yeah, I know. Really missing the boat. It's okay.
Damn it.
All
Okay.
right, that was a good one.
Yeah, good one.
These are really good.
Really good. Really
Yeah, go out there and see some great PD this summer, you guys.
yeah,
I
I
hope
hope-
my prayer is that people actually get some good PD. I didn't say this. For as bad of PD that I've experienced in the past, I have also experienced some really positive ones too.
Totally.
So I didn't say that at the get-go, and I want to make sure that that is said, that I've experienced some wonderful presenters who have been very effective, who've given me a lot of helpful tips, a lot of helpful strategies that have truly made like my school years easier some years than others because of just like simple things that they included that I was there to do, that I was able to do. So like that has been glorious and has really shifted a lot of my educational experience for the better. So I do want to say that.
Here's my kind of final challenge to everyone out there in education, like, my challenge to you is, like, challenge yourself to talk as much about the great PD that you've received as you do about the garbage PD that you've had to sit through.
Because, and it's probably not always equal.
Because what happens is we spend a lot of time talking about the garbage PD, but I'll tell you what, the more you talk about those people who have delivered great professional development, like, hey, then those names get around. And those are the people who are going to get more work. When we only talk about the garbage, then all of a sudden what happens is we just get the perception as educators as an impossible audience. And so, like, because they're impossible, we're just going to give you what we think is best. Like, no, make sure you're vocalizing who's out there doing a good job, what's been valuable to you, because that's the stuff that will get more traction.
And that's not like as a sales pitch, just because that this is your profession. However, I do think there are people who get in the profession because they were great in the classroom. And so sometimes things have been, foisted upon them. Is that how I said?
Foisted.
Foisted? Yeah. Okay. Upon them, maybe that they weren't ready for. That's just not their comfort level. Or they, because you were really successful as a classroom teacher, because you were really successful as a leader in a school, and that somehow translates to you being able to be great in front of other adults who are educators, that's not always true. Yeah. And so sometimes I think a lot of people that we've seen, at least I'll speak for myself, get into the PD profession or PD side of education because they've had successes in those other realms, and so they try to translate it to this, and it's a different skill set.
Yeah.
I mean, it's both in front of people, so I get that, like in its large group management, and you're in front of people, and it's content, all of that thing. And sometimes it does translate, and sometimes it doesn't translate at all.
Yeah.
So I do want to be fair to those people who have kind of gotten the profession. It's you work really hard on your job, and it's unique, and you don't treat people in the room how you treated your classroom. And I've seen you in both. I've had the gift of seeing you in both. So I think I can say that with confidence. It's just not the same skill set all the time. And so, just go easy on people, even if it's not for you. Still be respectful and be adults and be professional in all this development that you're getting.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's helpful.
Thanks for listening, everyone. As always, find us on YouTube. Find us anywhere you get podcasts. Like, subscribe. Thanks to those of you who have already. You can find me this week in, I believe, Forsyth County, Georgia.
Great. This is going to be hot.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Here we go. Molly, where can we find you?
You can find me with our newly neutered dog, hopefully.
Poor guy.
At this point in time,
Poor guy.
we're scheduled, so hopefully he'll come through that okay. And we're looking, we're going to be on the other side of it soon. I'm really eager to do that.
R.I.P.
So.
Sam Spalls. Have a great one, everyone. We'll catch you on next week's episode. Be well.